All right, we're back, Truth Seeker. People want to look at the NIT Championship, so we're going to do it. I remember when Kevin Durant's friend was killed, it was one of you. Sorry, I can't remember exactly who it was that pointed out, but somebody said, well, that could be a good shot or a good sign for the Texas Longhorns, who Kevin Durant played for. So they're now in the championship. And they're picking Lipscomb. I remember the last time we looked at a Lipscomb game, they had the very good numbers for the date, and they got the win on that date. I'm noticing right away that Texas is coming in with 20 wins, and we know that we have the 20 date numerology, so that stands out right away. So let's just do what we normally do. Let's look at the teams, the Gematria, see if any numbers pop out, look at the season placement they're in. Let's see if we can find ourselves a clear riddle. So, Lipscomb, here we go. Wait, that's not the right one. Let's see. There we go. No, that's not it. My fault, you guys. I think this is the one. They don't have a lot of history, that's for sure. Let's see if they ever played Texas before. So 0-2 against Texas, 118 to 186 points, the points scored so far. Their 17th season. What about for Texas? Texas, the 113th season, old 113. So Texas is 2-0 against them. They have 20 wins on the season. It's the 20 date numerology. Again, Lipscomb's the Bisons, right? The Lipscomb Bisons. I think that equals 24. Because I think the last time we were looking at them, we were talking about how they have the double connection to 24. They picked up the 24th win on a 24 date numerology, if I remember right. Bisons, yeah. Lipscomb. Bisons. But they had some, maybe it was that specific game. There was like an 89 on the board or something, unless I'm spelling this wrong. Lipscomb, let me try that one more time. Oh, there it is. I had it spelled wrong. Lipscomb 89, the 24th prime. Once I just overlooked it last time. Lipscomb Bisons 85 like basketball. Let's see. Let me 2019 NIT tournament. Where's the Wikipedia at? I want to see what edition of the tournament is. So they don't put up the number like they do for March Madness. Texas advanced with 68 points, the basketball number. Lipscomb advanced with 94, and the game's on the 94th day of the year, so that's important. They advanced with 94 to play on the 94th day of the year. That's interesting. When was the first year of the NIT tournament? That's what I need to know. Oh, it was founded in 85 as well, the same year as March Madness. Okay, so it's the 35th year of the tournament then, 34 years later. And then I guess the 81 factors in as well. Okie dokie. So let's look at the Gematria Texas and Longhorns. Texas has that Gematria 30, and I'm seeing that Lipscomb, with a win, would get their 30th win of the season, keeping Texas at 20 wins on the 20 date. So that matters. Texas 30. Longhorns. Texas Longhorns. It's interesting that Texas Longhorns is 187. We just saw that Lipscomb won their last game 94-93. There were 187 points in that game. Again, they won with 94 to play on the 94th day of the year. Let me just put up our exceptions too. Okay. Texas Longhorns. Lipscomb's 44. That's another thing to consider. Games on April 4th. License. 211, the 47th prime. Today's got the 47 date numerology. Again, it's their 17th season, right? Isn't that what we saw? 17, special number there. Their next loss is an interesting number. Their next loss is 253, the 22nd triangular. In basketball is 22. Lipscomb Bisons is 94 as well, playing on the 94th day of the year. How about that? Huh. I'm not missing anything here. Longhorns 59, the 17th prime. Again, it's Lipscomb's 17th season. The only thing that worries me about Lipscomb so far it's looking pretty good for Lipscomb. The only thing that's worrying me is just that next loss is 253, just because that number is symbolic to basketball. And this might be the biggest game of, well, it's easily the biggest game of Lipscomb's basketball history. It's the NIT, but it's still a championship game. Let me see. Team records in NIT. I want to see if I can look up. Here we go. This is what I need. Texas. What are you in the NIT? So it's going to be their 10th game, and they're 6-3. Lipscomb's got the 46th. Lipscomb Bison's also 59, the 17th prime, their 17th season, playing again on the 94th day of the year. We're going to have to look at the coaches here next. I'm just making sure we got all our numbers here in order. Oh, wait a minute. This can't be current. Shit, these records are not current. This is before the tournament began. This has to be before the tournament began. Yeah, this is before the tournament began. We need to look at the NIT tournament bracket then. So Lipscomb came in 0-1. Well, they start with 32 teams. I guess I can just think about this logically. Hold on, I can just think about this logically. So they won in the round of 32, the round of 16, the round of 8, the round of 4. So both teams have 4 wins right now. 32, 16, 8, 4. So that means Lipscomb's 4-1 right now. in the tournament, and that means Texas is 10-3. Oh shit. That means that Texas could become 11-3 and it's their 113th season. Damn it. That makes things tricky. I was starting to think things were looking good for Lipscomb, but now I'm thinking about that and I'm going, well, wait a minute. Texas could become 11-3 in their 113th season. We're going to have to look at the coaches here. I just want to put that up there in case you signed in. It is the Longhorns' 113th season, which is the 30th prime number, and Texas is 30, and that's the trick here because we were seeing that Lipscomb was going for their 30th win. Where's this Lipscomb school at anyway? Tennessee. Okay, Tennessee. Tennessee has the Gematria 47. We got the 47 date. We saw Lipscomb Bison's was 211, the 47th prime. We were thinking Texas could stay on 20 on the 20 date. They could, man, there's still a narrative here for Lipscomb, but man, after seeing that Texas can become 11-3 in the tournament in their 113th season, I'm just having trouble overlooking that. Bisons. One more time, make sure there's not a connection to 104. What does NIT stand for? One calls it the not invited or the not invited tournament, but what's it really stand for? National Invitation Tournament. Okay. Just want to see what those numbers are. It's got that relationship with 144. Here we are on April 4th. When you write out April 4th, it equals 144. Just like when you write out 44. NIT 16 is Texas at 16 losses. Is that what we just saw? So they could stay at 16 losses in the NIT as well. That's another thought. All right, let's look at the coaches. Shaka Smart. Born April 8th. So he's 4 days from his birthday. He's 41 right now. 41. Oh, wow. Oh, no, we already knew that. All right, what's his coaching record? His next win is his 137th, and check this out. Champion, 137. Oh, no, never mind. It's not his next win. It's his next game, though. So his 137th game, he could become the champion in. He'd get his 71st win, which is the 20th prime on this 20-date numerology. I just saw 122 on the board. Was it Longhorns? Longhorns is 122. He has 122 career losses. Lipscomb's in their 17th season. All right, let's check out the Lipscomb basketball coach. Actually, let me just see the Gematria on Shaka Smart, too. That's an interesting name. Shaka Smart. 30 like Texas. How about that? Shaka Smart. Smart 71. And we just saw that his next win is his 71st. It would be for the NIT Championship. All right, Lipscomb basketball coach Casey Alexander, born June 8th. Basketball 68. How many days is it from his last birthday to his next? 300 days. If you count the full span, it's 43 weeks from his last birthday. Just make sure that wasn't a number we were looking at. Lipscomb. Distance. Texas. Horns. No. To his upcoming birthday, 65 days, or a span of 66. Texas Longhorns is 65. 65 days to his upcoming birthday. About his name. Casey Alexander. Casey Alexander, 65 as well. 65 days to his birthday. He's got the 137 connection. Alexander. Casey. Look at that one more time. 17th season, Casey 17. Alexander. We got to see his coaching record here. Notice he has 113 wins coming into the game. And again, it's the Longhorns' 113th season. His next game is his 197th to 45th prime. He's at 83 losses. I know there was an 83 connection up here. Texas Longhorns is 83. If he won, he would stay on 83 losses. If he lost, he would get his 84th loss on 4-4. Remember, the divisors of 44 sum to 84. So that's his record. Let's look at Shaka Smarts one more time. Casey. It'll also be Casey Smart's 257th all-time game, which is the 55th prime. Notice he's at 137 wins right now. God, it's just amazing how tight it is. It's just like, how do they achieve this? He could stay on 137. He could also stay on 113 wins in the Longhorns' 113th season. Isons. Isons is 84. His next loss is his 84th. All right. So again, the riddle for Lipscomb is Texas equals 30. They can get their 30th win, winning the championship over Texas in Texas's 113th season. And let me just check one more thing too. We know that they're 4-1 in the tournament right now. 4-1 all time. Okay, so the Lipscomb narrative again, picking up that 30th win. Texas is 30. It's Texas's 113th season, the 30th prime. If they won, they would be 5-1 in tournament history. If they lose, they would be 4-2. Notice they came in as a 5 seed. The coach of Lipscomb, he comes into the game with 113 wins, which is very interesting because, again, it's the Longhorns' 113th season. He also comes in with 83 losses, and Texas Longhorns is 83. So what a fitting record for this championship. The thing is, his team name, the Bisons, equals 84, and 84 has that mathematical relationship with 44. The divisors of 44 sum to 84. It's Lipscomb's 17th season, and 17 is the 7th prime. If they won, they'd stay on. Let me get this up here real quick. If they won, they'd stay on 17 losses, or 7 losses, excuse me. It's their 17th season, the 7th prime. Lipscomb Bisons is also 59, the 17th prime, which is very interesting. Lipscomb Bisons is also 94. Today's the 94th day of the year. They advanced to this championship game by winning with 94 points in the last round. It's a date with 47 numerology. Lipscomb Bisons also 211, the 47th prime. So things were looking very good for Lipscomb. There was just a lot lining up just for the date and the opponent, and it was all looking gravy until we saw what Texas is in the tournament. If Texas wins this game, they will be 11-3 in their 113th season. And again, 113 is the 30th prime. Texas equals 30. The one scare for Texas is that it is a date with 20 numerology, and they could stay on 20 wins on the 20 date. We also saw that NIT equals 16. They could stay at 16 losses and win the NIT. The coach of Texas, his record is very interesting because it's his 137th game, and champion equals 137. If he gets the win today, he gets his 71st win. His last name's Smart. His name's Shaka Smart. Comes just before his birthday. Smart equals 71. So he could get his 71st win the championship in his 137th game. 71 is also the 20th prime on the 20 day. If he lost, he would get his 67th loss, the 19th prime. We are in 2019. But I don't know, 137th game, championship related number. And if he wins, he stays on 122 losses. We saw that Longhorns is also 122. So the narrative is tight, but in light of the fact that Texas can become 11-3 in the tournament by winning in their 113th season, that is just that's really hard to overlook. That just seems like too tight of a riddle. Becoming 11-3 in the 113th season. The game is in Madison Square Garden. That might be worth a peek as well. Madison Square Garden. MSG. Notice that would keep the other coach at 137 wins in the championship game too, all time, and keep him at 113 wins as well in the Longhorns' 113th season. Oh, and then the other thing that we talked about is just that Kevin Durant's friend who was murdered. We thought that might be a riddle that maybe the Longhorns had a shot in the NIT because Kevin Durant went to he was a Texas Longhorn. So let me just scan this real quick, see if there's any numbers that are jumping out here. Well, there was championship-related numbers. We saw how this lined up with the NBA Finals. This was March 21st. Oh, yeah, adopted brother 70. That was a number coded into this, and it was 70 days from the start of the finals. That is interesting because the Longhorns coach is at 70 wins right now. Let me see the connection. March 21st to today. And speaking of, it was a shooting, right? Shooting 44. Hey, love, I'm finishing up. I'll be right over there, okay? Okay, bye. All right, bye. So 14 days later, or a span of 15 days. Texas is 15 if you count the span. I got to say, this narrative is tight, again, because you can make an argument for Lipscomb getting that 30th win over Texas, and Texas staying on 20 wins on the 20 date. But just the fact that Texas can become 11-3 in the tournament. Again, just in case you got here late, if you go and look up these tournament records, this is before the tournament began. And the way you can prove that is that Lipscomb was 0-1. So they won in the round of, both teams won in the round of 32, 16, 8, and 4. So they both added 4 wins. So Lipscomb right now is 4-1, and Texas is they're 10-3 right now, which means they can become 11-3 in their 113th season, and that would also keep the coach of Lipscomb at 113 wins. So I got to give the edge to Texas, especially seeing that today's a span of 15 days from the killing of Kevin Durant's friend. So NIT is also 16, but don't forget, it is Lipscomb's 17th season, and both teams had the connection to 59, the 17th prime. But still, the riddle that's getting me is the 1-1-3. Texas with the win is 11-3 in the tournament. So, yeah, Lipscomb equals a whole bunch of things. We covered all that. And their name also equals 94. It's the 94th day of the year. They won their last game with 94 points. We went over everything pretty good, but to me, you still got to pick the top riddle. To me, that top riddle is Texas. It's their 113th season. With a win, they're 11-3 in the NIT, and they keep the Lipscomb coach at 113 wins. 113 is also the 30th prime. Texas equals 30. If you think it's going to be Lipscomb, by all means, go for it. You know, Monday I did well. The last 2 days I have not done well, but we'll see what happens today. I'm just seeing that 1-1-3 riddle. It seems to be the strongest riddle on the board, and in light of the significance of that number, I got to imagine that's what's going to hit, especially with the death of Kevin Durant's friend a span of 15 days from this in a shooting. So they made this one tight, though. Also, just one other thing, it's the Texas coach 137th game, and champion equals 137. So if he wins, he gets a 71st win. Smart equals 71 to the 20th prime. So that's the other connection to 20 today for Texas. Kevin Durant may end up a New York Knick. Yeah, that's been a conversation too. So there could be something up with that in light of the game being in New York. So that's another thought. All right, we'll leave it there. If you missed this from the beginning, go back and watch Lipscomb. It was looking good for Lipscomb when we started. I was filling the Lipscomb thing until I saw the 1-1-3 riddle, and then I said, "Ooh, that 1-1-3. That looks like the one." So we'll leave it there. We'll be back tomorrow at the regular time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern. Good luck to everybody. Till next time.